Hello, welcome to another tutorial in the Getting Started series of Let's Code, and in this tutorial we are going to talk about the interface of the application. So first I'm going to talk about the online store. We click this button to go to the online store. That's where you're going to download all the awesome free templates, free section styles, free app templates, whatever it is that you want to use. And you have tutorials I've already showed you in a previous video, and you can just log out. On the other hand, when you come down here, you have the chat that you can talk to us about anything about your application. When you're having issues that we should actually help you with, we are always ready to help you. Our support team is just around to help you. So we've basically talked about this already, so I'm just going to go into editing the website. Okay, so you have the menu bar at the top. There are some things that you need to know. The menu bar, we have the file, we have the projects, extensive, we have the asset store here still, we have tutorials and logout. Basically that is it. On the edit bar, we have fix layout, errors, export website, export items, add client, user, blah blah blah. All these things are stuff that we are going to deal with. These are they are self-explanatory, and basically we'll deal with it as we move on. On the share button, you can basically, when you build a website, okay, and you're done, you want to share it with another person. Let's say you're building a website and you need a touch of a designer, you need a touch of a copywriter who is also on Let's Code. You can share the website with them and have them help you out. You can also transfer a finished website to a client on Let's Code or someone else to manage, especially if you're in a team. So this actually works in a way where, for example, you have a team of 5, like what I normally do with some of my teammates if we have to build websites. Once the design is done and I'm done with what I need to do, I just transfer it to the next person. Okay, so basically we have all that. We have other stuff that you can add. We are going to talk about that later. For example, if you build a website for a client, you then be able to edit. You then be able to create a client editor for the person to be able to edit their website. Now the next button is a responsive button. That is basically going to help you make your website responsive. We are going to talk about that later. And help, you can see Let's Code Essentials, new features, the new video, love codes. Basically these are tutorials as well that you have here, and that's perfect. On the left side we have the tool panel. And you can see we have the create tools and other tools that are going to help you. All these buttons are create tools, so if you hover your mouse over them, it tells you what they are. Add an image, add a shape, add a button, add a text, form elements and whatnot. And on the tools aspect, we have the plus tool, the add tool, we have the delete tool, you have the duplicate tool, you have the save, you have the lock elements tool, and add wrapper. Basically this is to create actions. You have the upload website and also to reload your design space so that you can have access to everything. Yeah, so one of the things that you need to look at is basically all these tools are going to become familiar with you once we start using it. And this is basically your work area. This is where you search for applied nodes and available nodes. We are going to talk about that in our next video. On the top right corner, you can see we have align right, align to the center, align to the left. These are things that you know, and these are stop and start animation buttons. We are going to go over it. And on the far right we have our unit set of buttons. So if you want to use percentage, you want to use VH or VW, you can use this, and pixels, but most of the time you're going to be working in pixels, except in special occasions. We are going to talk about that. Now on the right section we have the create panels. These are the panels that actually are going to help you. You're going to use most of them most of the time. Now we have the applied notes panel, and we have the website panel. This website panel is very important to us, and we are going to learn why it's that important to us. Here we have our whole website that we are building over here. We have our pages, we have our extra JavaScript for the developers who want to add JavaScript to what they are building, CSS, all that. But these things are not stuff that you really need to know. All you need to know is just create your pages and all these stuff. You're going to go over all of them, but this is the website panel. So when I'm actually I'm actually talking about something. I say go to the website panel, you basically know that there's a website panel. Now these are quick setup panels. These basically, I don't know if you're going to use them too much, but basically there's some time, there's a time that you really need to use these things. And we have our current assets. Current assets are sort of the images, the videos, the icons, whatever it is, that assets that you have in a particular website. These assets do not cross over to other websites that you are building. It's just for this particular website. Now when we go to the section styles and templates, as you can see, I have one section style and template over here, and that is the thing that you know that I created this whilst I was working on a previous website, but it's still here. So your section styles and templates or asset library, the elements that you create yourself, will be available for you with all other sort of website that you're building, and that's what this tab is for. Now we have node options that we are going to use later. Okay, so we have node options that we are going to use, and I'm going to talk to you about all this node options later. Alright, so in building this website, so we have the page layouts panel. In the page layouts panel, you can create websites and create layouts of them, and this also crosses over to all the websites that you are building, and that's basically true and cool. Now we have default actions. These ones are not loaded yet, but I'll show you how to actually download all the default actions from our asset store, and you're going to use them. Actions are basically shortcuts, let's say, to doing certain things, like for example adding a background color, and basically adding background color and text color. So actions allow you to create a style guide for a website that you're working on, so that it becomes very easy for you to just apply them, and then colors, font styles, images, whatever it is that you're doing, so that it becomes very easy for you. Now we have the personal actions that you create. So for example, let me show you. These are the actions that I've created for a website that I'm building on, and this is sort of a style guide for me. So I have background black, blue, gray, text color black,